Hey, everybody. I'm not in the most ideal recording situation where I usually am, but I wanted to make a quick recording of this while I have it fresh in my mind, and had a situation come up recently where I had a person that took me up on my offer of having a free introduction session with me. The session went for several hours. We got this client amazing results, instant realizations about themselves and how they were going about their life. And hey, this person had terrific results. They were coachable. They focused on what I asked them to focus upon. They followed my directions, and they got results really quickly. Some results which they've been chasing for years in therapy, years in support groups. And like, I want this result, but they weren't able to get close to it. And they got that in a free introduction session with me. And this client is amazing. He's a good person. If he didn't come to me as a client, he'd probably be a friend of mine. Like, he's just a good dude. He really is. He's got some problems. Sure, don't we all? And he has some challenges. But one of the challenges is that when the conversation, I was like, hey, we did a free intro, and the conversation turned to, I don't have any money. And that stinks, right? It stinks not to have money. And I get that. Some people in this world will say, I don't have any money, when they really do have money. They're really just trying to get out of the deal. They don't want to be sold to. And that's like a sales business thing. But on a life coach self-development thing is that we're all wealthy. We all have the capabilities to get out there and get it. But there's certain barriers. Maybe, and most of those barriers aren't even realized. I'm personally, it's mostly about self-belief. It's mostly about emotions. It's mostly about trauma and the dramas and getting past all that things. And then all of a sudden you start seeing that you have beliefs that enable you to go after your goals. Hey, I'm a work in progress. I always will be, always have been. And what you're seeing right now is me doing the best I can. It feels pretty good to know that like I have these skills and I can help other people, but I also have to help myself. That being said, people who come to me and clients, they really have to have skin in the game. And what I mean by that is working or generating your own income to feed yourself or to feed other people, such as your family. It's really about it. That is a great form of self-validation, and also self-worth and self-esteem. So if someone's not able to meet those needs, it tells me that there's something lacking in those areas of not being able to self-validate, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-value, worthiness, deservingness. A lot of these elements go into that. Now, those might be big words, and we kind of like, chunk them around, but really it comes down to one thing: deserving. Yes, people don't have those beliefs of deserving to have those things in their life, or they would really generate the beliefs or the emotions and enable themselves to go get it. Now, that being said, I only take clients that are able to pay for their own sessions, because they have to be able to go out and generate that kind of income, that money, to take care of themselves, to take care of what matters to them. If they borrow the money and they have to pay it back, okay, hey, they do what they got to do. But if it's like, hey, I'm going to pay for someone else's session, it's really about somebody else's, forcing their willpower upon somebody else to go ahead and go after what they think the answer is. And then both those people have to be in agreement of what works for that person. It's like, okay, well, you're kind of robbing that person of the decision. You're robbing that person of their willpower to say, no, this is what I want. And sometimes what we want isn't really good for us, but we have to learn from those decisions. If we're not able to learn from them, then we're just going to keep repeating the cycle. And some people, they keep giving people money. They enable them to keep making bad decisions. But something magical happens is when you go, no, you're going to pay for it yourself. I want you to be self-reliant and make some good decisions. All of a sudden it's like, oh, holy shit, like things got real. It's like, yeah. And all of a sudden it becomes a kind of an ecosystem where this person has like, okay, I have to choose survival. Holy shit, I have to choose survival. And they have to get past this. It's a part of growing up. So once they get past survival, then they have to go into what I call thrival, which is a combination of the word of thriving and survival, which is, hey, survival means staying alive at all costs. Like I just have to survive. Thriving means thriving, like growth with, in abundance. But when you get thrival, it's really like I have to take on growth no matter what. And I have to take on growth. If I don't take growth, I won't get out of the situation. It's really like that amount of fuel that it takes a rocket ship to break Earth's gravity. And so it becomes, how do I get to that place of thriving? Well, you have to put in a lot of resources, a lot of focus, a lot of time, a lot of energy to really start breaking, the pull of gravity, the pull of your traumas and your dramas, so you can break free of them to get to the other side of the solution. And then you're like, oh my God, this is great. Some people can do it very easily. Some people can't. And so one of the reasons that I tell people, hey, it's got to be your own money, is they have to be committed. They have to take it serious. And if they don't take their own money serious, well, hey, that's on them. That's really on them. And then you start learning that lesson. Now, I know some people that they will spend money where it doesn't even, it's not logical. I call these people all dollars and no cents. I got that from a friend of mine. I used to do contract work, painting houses. And he's like, these people, they're all dollars and no cents. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we've painted this house 10 times. They keep changing it because they want a different color. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, but they keep paying. They got the money. They got deep pockets. It cracked me up. So it was pretty, I kind of use that term going forth. And I see a lot of people do this. They go to every single seminar, convention, life coach, go to every single ayahuasca shaman in Peru. And they're like, I got all the answers. And they come back home. They're like, I didn't do anything. It's good that you had the money, but you're not committed. So I share that with you to say, you got to take it serious. You got to take it committed. And it's got to come from you. Now, I have seen some people that go to people that just really aren't that helpful. That's why I do the free intro session. That's my upfront discounted, giving myself, and my gifts. I'm sharing my talent with you. If you're not involved, that's cool. Probably shouldn't join me in my sessions. That's fine. Right? Yeah, I do know this is when people show up serious, show up committed, and they invest in themselves, they get the results. It's that simple. So if they don't do that, it tells me that they're not ready for the change and they're just acting and just going along with the motion. I'm just going to paint by the numbers and hope I get something. But when you hold people accountable and say, no shit, if you're going to be fucking happy and you're really going to be successful, how are you going to know? And they go ahead and they get this blank stare, like, I have no idea. That tells me that they need to get certain and they need to get clarity on those things. If they don't, they'll never find it. Now they're just like rolling the dice and hope they hit the big, the big win at Monaco. It's like, no, you can't just go to the casino and roll the dice and hope that I found happiness. Okay, how many rolls of the dice can you afford? And if you're really committed and you really want the big payout, it's usually you putting everything on the table and pushing it across to the dealer and saying, okay, give me my dice. Yeah, that's really setting a person up for heartache and ruin. And that's not fair to yourself. People who do that are usually people that have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and they just keep repeating it. So don't do that. Now, if you want to work with me, that's cool, but just know that I'm going to hold you accountable on the dice roll. So you better show up committed. Here's my sweetheart coming down in the background. How you doing, baby? No, don't be. I'm doing things like I just don't care anymore. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't care if you walk around. I care. But you're a little sweetie. So I share with you, if you don't want to be held accountable, then you probably don't want serious, you're not serious, you're not committed. So if you don't want serious results, if you don't want committed results, and you don't want results that work, then why are we even talking? Right? Like it's almost like, okay, welcome to fantasy world. Where are you going? She's going upstairs again. So that's what I'm saying, is that I'm making this video, not just for this one, client who came to see me for intro. I'm really making this video for everybody to get real clear. What is it you fucking want? Like, you can't have your ass on more than one toilet. That's a Russian saying. There's another saying in Texas, your butt can only be on one horse at a time. And, commit to one goal, follow through with it. You get a little distracted, it happens. You want to ride a different horse? Cool. But come back to that first horse and realize why you rode it, why you went after that goal. Okay? Like, that's that simple. So commitment, seriousness, and following through. And you can't be, sponsored or scholarshiped in. It's like, I'm telling you, if you work for it and you earn it yourself, you're going to start getting more validation, more self-empowerment, and you're going to start giving the word no to a lot of things in your life that are taking power away from you. And you'll start saying yes to things in your life that give you power, give you significance, give you love, give you abundance. That's it. Here comes my dog. Looks like the house is getting active. I love you guys. Adam for Impactful Changes Hypnosis. Get out there and go to my website, fill my questionnaire if you want to become a client. Free intro sessions for everybody. And then if you're just stopping by, please do something fucking awesome today. Bye. What is up with you, Solana?